Hello YouTube. Well, today's my first stop in Kansas is at the site of a little cabin made famous as the Little House on the Prairie. The Ingalls family moved to this site in 1869 with the idea that this land would start to become available, and it was on the diminished Osage lands, and the government signed a treaty with the Osage in 1870 where they moved to the Indian Territory of Oklahoma, which is not that far away. But Pa did not put in a claim on this land. So it took them a while to try to figure out where exactly their land was. Now this is a replica cabin, so let's just take a look. It's basically it's a one-room cabin, and this would have been pretty much how it was back then. Although I would think that they would have done something with a loft for the children. This is the best guess as to where it was located, and that's because I said the Ingalls were recorded on the census in 1870, but there was no land record that matched up. And because, well, what they ended up doing was they looked at all of the different areas, all the different lands, went to the grants. This spot was one that was not claimed, and because it was designated as a school plot, it would have cost more to have purchased it. So that's why the Ingalls moved on. They were only here 2 years, but when they matched up records for who in the 1870 census and where they own the land, because this was empty and it did have a hand-dug well, they figured that was the well that Pa had dug. And so that's why we're pretty sure this is where their cabin actually was. So along with a cabin on this site, they've got the wayside post office and a one-room schoolhouse from Sunnyside. So this is the post office from the town of Wayside, and back here on the back, the names for each of the boxes are from the original residents. And this was built in 1877, so that would have been after the Wilders. And when the U.S. Post Office closed this, they moved it to this site. That's a pretty nice school. It said it has a capacity of 36, but some years they would fit as many as 50 in here, and they'd have to share. So this hand-dug well is the reason they gave them an anchor as to when they researched trying to figure out where their cabin was. And when Pa dug it, it was 20 feet deep and rimmed with rock, provided researchers an anchor, like I said, and it's now covered for safety reasons, but Laura described it in Little House on the Prairie as the water was clear and cold and good. She thought she'd never tasted anything so good as those long, cold drinks of water. Paul built a solid platform over the well and a heavy cover for the hole that let the water bucket through. Bert Horton purchased this property in 1923. Little did he know, 12 years later, Laura Ingalls Wilder would publish her classic Little House on the Prairie, which would drive people to want to know where it all took place. So this house is not original. He built this. He also built the barn, and that quilt pattern hanging up there was the one that Laura used for her hope chest. It's called Doves in the Window. And so ends my visit to the Little House on the Prairie. And it's a cute little museum. If you're a fan of the books or the TV series and you happen to be near Independence, Kansas, take a ride over. Take a look. It's a nice little museum. It costs $3 for an adult and $1 for children. But so anyway, I am going to get on the road, see what else Kansas has to offer. See you later, YouTube.